the Armenians are the first people, as a nation, to accept Christianity. This is a good 20 years before Constantine is going to supposedly convert and create the Byzantine Empire. Okay, this is 20 years before that, and from that point on, they're already going to be coming here to Jerusalem. They're going to become very powerful during the Crusades. Why? Well, the Crusaders made a classic mistake. Right? This is in the era long before planes and trains and automobiles, guys. You don't go and try to conquer a foreign country far, far away and continue to rule it and try to rule it without bringing some women along. Right? All those guys that came there, they fought, they won, they said, oh, this is very nice. I'm not staying around for this. Bye-bye, I'm going home. Right? You guys remember Robin Hood? Right? You showed up here, it's like, all right, get me out. I'm going to go home, find that Maid Marian or whoever, right? You know, no good. Okay, we got to get home. That was the Crusaders' biggest problem here. A lack of manpower. Well, probably women power to keep the manpower, but okay, you get it. So, okay, there are not enough people here. They had to hide behind big, you know, castles and things. What can you do? Now, the Armenians, why did they get strong? Because they're the closest Christian kingdom to the Crusader kingdoms. So in fact, a lot of the kings here got their wives from this Armenian kingdom in southern Turkey. So a lot of the queens and queen mothers were actually of Crusader kingdom of Jerusalem, were actually Armenian, which of course makes, you know, the children half Armenian, etc. And amazing. You didn't know that, right? So, what else can we say? Guys, you can always identify them because these are the religious Armenians, because of their hats. Now, they're all dressed in black like most Eastern Orthodox churches, like the priests, but their hats go up like a cone. Why? Because the holy mountain of the Armenians is Mount Ararat. And this is supposed to be like Mount Ararat. You may remember Mount Ararat from the Bible. This is where Noah's Ark ends up. Right? Some say you can actually see it with satellite imaging today. I don't know. Perhaps it's the next movie of Indiana Jones. You'll go find it. But another great story about it is that when Armenia wasn't, today it's a country, but it was actually a republic under the Soviet Union. And Turkey, which has a big fight with Armenia, right, especially over the Armenian genocide from World War I, which they don't really admit to or say it happened. And so, if you ever think that Israelis and Palestinians or Muslims, Jews, Christians fight, you've never seen anything till you've seen Turks and Armenians, trust me. But the Turkish ambassador actually went to Joseph Stalin, right, and he said, how can it be, right, that you have one of your republics has a mountain on it that does not belong to it? Mount Ararat today is in eastern Turkey, guys. It's not in Armenia, right? And he was complaining about this, that they're showing Turkish national land on their flag. Joseph Stalin, who, to my knowledge, was not known to be, a comedian. He's known for other things, usually killing a lot of people. But he looked at it, responded, very wisely said, maybe he played with his big mustache. He said, the flag of Turkey has the moon on it. I was unaware that the moon is part of Turkey. And that ended the whole thing right there. Guys, I know we couldn't see too much. If you would like to come back, if you go straight, right, instead of making this turn here, if you were to walk straight, on your left is the entrance to the Armenian Church of St. James. That is their biggest church. It's probably also the best smelling church in Jerusalem. Just a little hint. It's open generally every day, only from 3 until 3:40 p.m. All right. If you want to go again, you finish the tour around 2:30 or so. Grab some food at the Armenian Tavern. Go to the church. Look, you got a nice little afternoon planned. All right. We already planned the rest of your afternoon post the tour. All right. We're actually now going to see a lot more now because we can't see too much here. I'm going to make it up at the next stop. We're going to go to the rooftops and we're going to get a whole beautiful panoramic view of the city. Okay, so hopefully we can make up a little bit of this. The Church of the Holy Sepulchre is, by most Christians, the place of the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus. But Protestants, most Protestants will go to a different place called the Garden Tomb. So there's just understand it's always sometimes a different place. It's tough always to know. What's really neat is there's an ancient language called Aramaic, which is what the movie The Passion with Mel Gibson was actually filmed in, and it's what Jews often spoke around 2,000 years ago and learned. The Assyrian community actually still speaks Aramaic. There's an old woman here from Iraq who came here, and she will actually sing for you in Aramaic, which is a really neat thing to do. It's like besides the Jews who study it, it's the only people who still speak it today. Wow. So. I'm going to tell you right now, a little treat. Those bells are going to go off in exactly 5 minutes. So, let's do this in the 5-minute version. Ready? Welcome to the rooftops, one of my most favorite places to come to in Jerusalem. Beautiful views. Of course, this is the free tour. The best view, perhaps, is the big bell tower to your left, my right. That is the Church of the Redeemer, built by Kaiser Wilhelm. That's why he came in the first place. But you can walk up 177 steps. Only cost you 5 shekels. Just if you're really claustrophobic or afraid of heights, it might not be for you. But it opens till 3:30 every day, except for Sunday. So again, when we finish up today, it's another thing you can go right to go and do. If you look directly where I'm facing, straight behind you guys see a tower there with some flags up top. That is the Citadel, the Tower of David Museum that we mentioned already. That's where we came from. Now where you're looking to your left, so over in this direction, which is the southwest, that is the Armenian compound, that whole area back in there. Behind me now is the Jewish quarter. This is going to be our next stop, so we'll talk about it in a second when we go down there. Back to your left, to the north, is the Christian quarter. I mentioned the Church of the Redeemer bell tower. Just to the left of you, you see 2 big gray domes with crosses on top. That is the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. That will be our second to last stop on our tour today. Just to get an idea, that's how big it is now. But when it was first built by the Byzantines, it stretched all the way past the bell tower, all the way to the area of this black dome over here, which is a Russian Orthodox church, the Church of Alexander Nevsky, a local hero. The Christian quarter has about 3,000 people living in it. The Armenian compound, about 2,000, although really 800. They always keep that number at 2,000. They're the smallest group. They got to inflate the numbers. The Jewish quarter's got about 4,000, and the largest quarter by far in space and in numbers. All the way back in that direction over here in the northeast corner, the Muslim quarter, 26,000 people, almost 3 times the size of the rest combined. You can tell because it's got all the satellite dishes. All right, they want to pick up Al Jazeera and movies from Egypt and whatever you want to get on your satellite TV. Looking straight behind me to the east. Forget about the big golden dome for a second. We'll have a better view of that later. Of course, that's the Dome of the Rock, the first monumental building in Islam. We'll talk about it when we have a better view. Behind it, I want you guys to focus your attention. That is the Mount of Olives, the famous Mount of Olives. It is known for, in Jewish tradition, for many, many things. Mostly famous for Christians, as the place of Jesus' home base when he comes to Jerusalem. He's going to sleep there. He's going to visit his friend Lazarus over there. He is going to come back and pray there. All right? And from there, he'll jump out to the city. He'll come out to the Temple Mount. He'll come out to Mount Zion. He'll walk around. He'll come over here to the church at the end of his life, of course. Right? You can actually follow a lot of the events of his life through the churches coming down the mountain. Best always to go at the top, take a cab up there, come down, not walk up. Keep in mind, many of the churches are closed from 12 to 2. Just to the right of those churches, you have a big sandy area, a big sand-colored stone. That is the Jewish cemetery, the famous Jewish cemetery on the Mount of Olives. Prophets, kings, etc., all buried up there. Famous rabbis, a former prime minister of Israel, and the Israel's Nobel Prize winner for literature, Shai Agnon. And Shai Agnon once wrote about the place you are standing right now. From the rooftops of Jerusalem, you can walk around the entire place. Jerusalem is connected by its houses, but divided by its people.